Hi there. In this very first video of the series English Random Stuff, we will learn about phrasal verbs. What are phrasal verbs? How do we use them? We will also learn some beginner and advanced phrasal verbs. And finally, we will do a test about everything we've learned. Number 1. Phrasal verbs are formed by adding a preposition to a verb, or maybe an adverb to a verb, or maybe preposition and an adverb to a verb. Some examples of phrasal verbs are get up, wake up, go away, mess around, sleep off, dream about, and so on. Number 2, how do we use them? Well, actually, phrasal verbs are really common in English and they are really useful. But the problem is that sometimes you cannot find out the meaning or understand the meaning from the verb and the preposition itself, because the meaning is always, or most of the time, different. So sometimes we will have to use a dictionary or look up a phrasal verb in a dictionary, or use an app maybe, or a reference to get to know the meaning. Well, another thing about phrasal verbs is that some phrasal verbs are transitive, which means they need an object in the sentence, but some are not. Some are intransitive, which means they don't need any objects. An example of a transitive phrasal verb is, for example, take off, like take your jacket off, or pick up, pick your jacket up. Okay? Now, other examples of intransitive phrasal verbs, which means phrasal verbs that do not need an object in the sentence, such as wake up, like I wake up in the morning. I get up at 7. Finally, let's get to know some phrasal verbs. I will start with some beginner phrasal verbs, like, for example, wake up. I wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning. Another phrasal verb is get up. Now, when I say wake up in the morning, which means when I open my eyes but I'm still in bed. But if I say get up, it means that you get out of bed. So, for example, I wake up at 9 o'clock and then I get out of bed or get up at 9:30. So, like I spend some time in bed. Another phrasal verb is sit down or stand up, or maybe turn on. So for example, sit down. I normally, when I feel tired, I sit down. When I'm okay and I need to do some activities, I stand up and go. Another example is, for example, go out. I normally go out with friends in the afternoon or at the weekends. Another example is stay up. So at the weekend, I normally stay up late and watch a movie. One last example is turn on. When I get home, I turn on the TV and watch some news. Now, let's go to some advanced phrasal verbs. So an example of an advanced phrasal verb is like go off. So when we talk about the alarm clock, so I say, for example, yesterday I set my alarm clock at 9 in the morning, but it didn't go off. So the alarm clock did not go off. Another example is to perk up. Perk up means when you do something or drink something, eat something to change your mood. So the other day, I was in a bad mood, so I didn't know what to do. So in order to perk up, I made some coffee. Another example is to work out. Now, if you look at the word work, it's related to work, like your job and working. But here, when I say work out, we are talking about sports or exercise. So every week I go to the gym in order to work out, to have a good shape. Figure out. Another example of an advanced phrasal verb is figure out. So I figured out that my friend was lying to me. So when you figure out something, you actually discover it. So I figured out that my friend was lying to me. Another example is run over. So when I started learning to drive the car, I ran over a cat once. This is a lie. It was a dog. So run over, it means to run over something, to go over it with a car or a motorbike or whatever. Now, something else is to pick up and drop off. So when we talk about giving somebody a ride, so we say pick them up, let's say. So I normally pick up my kids from school at around 2 o'clock. And then I drop them off at home, and then I go to work. So you pick somebody up, you take them, and you drop them off, you take them to that place. Now finally, hang out. So if you are bored, you can hang out with friends. So hang out means to go out and travel around with friends or cousins or relatives, whatever. So that is hang out. So that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Now we're going to do the last thing, which is testing your phrasal verbs, everything you've learned in this video. All the best.